What's up, Magic lovers? So today I'm going to be reacting to another video I sent over to NGS, and I'm going to see if I can fool him. I wasn't so lucky last time, so let's see how this time plays out.
Welcome to NGS, where we dive into my hobbies, such as magic reaction and trying to figure out how B-Don the Magician does tricks. Last time I watched him do a routine and I tried to figure out how he did it, and I did pretty darn close. Here's a clip of proof that I was pretty close, right here.
Next Gen Spawn was dead on accurate with his stuff. There was a couple of things, actually the little finishing touches that I put onto there to kind of throw off actually worked in this particular case. But he was dead on. I'd say he's about 90% accurate with everything he said there.
He has sent me a clip of him performing another routine that he wants me to attempt to figure out and try and, do another reaction video like last time. This time to promote the tutorial that he's uploading for it on December 2nd, which you will catch on his channel. I'll put a link down below to that as well. From what I understand, there are two tricks. I could be wrong on this one, but he wants me to attempt to figure out both, so that is what I'm going to do. This is a clip from an interview he did with MK Magic, which I always think of like Mortal Kombat, but MK Magic, that's another magician. I'll put a link to his channel down below too as well, so you can see the full interview if that piques your interest at all. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive right into the video and figure out how he does this.
I want you to use your imagination and imagine I have an invisible deck of cards here. I'm going to start shuffling this deck of cards up. Give it a little bit of a riffle shuffle, how about a bridge and maybe a couple of cuts.
There's not a real
And what I'm going to do with these cards, I'm going to throw them up in the air. And we have all 52 cards, 52 possibilities floating up in the air. And what I want you to do is, I want you to imagine, when you look up in there, you see all these cards. I want you to imagine either the red cards or the black cards falling down.
Okay.
Which cards fall down?
Black.
The red cards.
Ah, damn it.
The red cards fall down.
Say black. All right, red.
All right here on the table. So now we have all of these red cards laying here on the table, right? And of course we have hearts and we have diamonds. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about the hearts and I want you to think about the diamonds. And I want you to switch in your mind. I want you to say hearts, diamonds, diamonds, hearts, diamonds, hearts, diamonds. I want you to switch until I say stop, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, switch. And I want you to stop. Do you have one in mind?
Yes.
Okay, so now that you have one in mind, I want you to tell me, if you were to switch one more time, where would you be at?
Hearts.
Be at hearts. So we have a red card and it's a heart. Now, the next thing that I'm going to ask you is, you know how we have number cards and we have picture cards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So number cards and picture cards. I want you to think of a value of a playing card. Do you have one in mind?
Yes.
Okay, so we have number cards and we have picture cards. If you're thinking of a number card, I want you to switch to a picture card. And if you're thinking of a picture card, I want you to switch to a number card. And where do you at?
Switch it up.
Number cards.
Then our number card?
Yeah.
So all the number cards vanish. All we're left with is all the picture cards. So that's going to be King, Queen, and Jack. So if I were to take two of those away, what would you be left with?
Jack of hearts.
You'd be left with the Jack of hearts.
Yeah.
So now I'm left with two cards in my hand. I have the King of hearts and I have the Queen. I want you, if imagine I have them right here, and I want you to push one to me.
Okay.
Which card are you pushing to me?
The King of hearts.
The King of hearts. That leaves you with one card. The Queen of hearts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fair to say that you made all these decisions, landing you at one particular card. And I had this deck of cards sitting here the entire time in view.
Yeah, it was in frame. Yes, correct.
Now, if you were here in person, I'd have you do this instead of me doing it, right? So actually, we might do it a little bit of a different way, just so you don't think I'm cheating, right?
No
So,
worries.
just so you don't think I'm cheating. But what I would have you do is cut the deck just like that. Give it a cut. But since you're not here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spread the cards out. I'm trying to keep them in camera frame. And I'm going to point my finger here and just tell me stop wherever you like, anywhere you'd like.
Stop.
Right here.
Yes.
So let's
There's a
pretend you were to
delay
cut
from
the
the
deck at this particular point, right?
Interview.
So that's the fairest way for me to, have you cut the decks without you actually being here. So that would mean that you cut to the 7 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds, right? So you cut to the 7 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. What we're going to do is we're going to add those values together, right? 7 plus 8 is what?
15.
15.
Yeah, he did that way
So
faster
I'm
than
going
I
to try to
would.
do this as fairly as possible, one card at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the 15th card is your thought of card, the Queen of Hearts.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And the interesting part about it, you can see this is not like a forcing deck or anything like that. Everything is fairly shuffled. All the cards are completely different. So that's what I got for you.
That's pretty good.
All right, so that's the first trick. Now I think I have an idea of how this works. Now obviously the card that he picked with a little bit of mentalism here, because it wasn't just all free choice, it was kind of coached. Whenever the magician, in this case B-Don the magician, asks questions of like, think of one card, now what card were you thinking of, and when they get that answer and they respond with, okay, well, let's remove that card, he has the power to say, well, let's remove that card, or let's keep that card. Technically, he has the power to keep or remove whatever card is said, so he's technically in control the entire time having this conversation or this mental game of, deduction, removing cards. So he's kind of guiding him to the, what was it, Queen of Hearts? Yeah, the Queen of Hearts. So the Queen of Hearts had to have already been a predisposed card that he picked and knew was going to be the selected card from the beginning, and just kind of had to work his way through the mentalism game of coaching him through it mentally. Now, of course, I'm not really good at that game. B-Don obviously has some practice with this, so I think that's the first part of the trick down, of getting the Queen of Hearts to be thought of by MK Magic here. Now, the part that is more confusing and more compelling to me is the cutting the deck, getting the values, and cutting down that value or the added values to the Queen of Hearts. And I kind of think I have an idea of how he did this. And again, like in my last video, one of the red flags to pay attention to is when the deck is not shuffled immediately. Automatically assume that it's either stacked or it's in an order that needs to be pre-existing for the trick to work. And I think I can go to a still frame where I can confirm this, and I'm going to, unless B-Don doesn't want me to do that, and I'll let him decide if he wants me to or not. But I think that the deck is specifically made in an order where every card next to each other is a combined value of 15, and that Queen of Hearts is put into the 15th place in the deck. Now, the chances of him landing on that Queen of Hearts is very slim, and if he does land on that Queen of Hearts in the revealing process of revealing the top and bottom card, if it were the first card that he pulls up, the trick is done. Oh, look, he landed on the Queen of Hearts, and it's already a small miracle. But if it's the second card that he pulls up, well, again, close enough. Well, it just so happens that you picked the Queen of Hearts. But the cards next to each other is 15 for a reason. There's a reason for that. I can't think of the math right now. Like I said, when it comes to math, I'm not as good as MK Magic here, apparently. But that 15 number is 15 for a reason, and I'm pretty sure this is how it's done. So let's go ahead and see if that's the case by going into
Let's see.
this still frame. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this here. Yeah. I'm going to have to look at this post-production to see if that's the case. If that's not the case, then consider me stumped on how he did that. If that is not the case, then he would have had to have forced the cut, known where to go, which is a thing, and that would be my second guess. He forced the cut, had full control of the deck, and knew exactly where to land, and played it that way. That'd be my second guess if my first guess was incorrect. But again, I think a lot of that hinders on the not shuffling in the beginning. But obviously the Queen of... I got the first half of the trick down. I know without a doubt the Queen of Hearts was pre-selected and coached through mentalism. Alright, so we'll see that on the playback. If I'm wrong on that, then my second guess is my second guess. He
Pretty
forced
close.
it when he did the drag with the finger along the deck. Alright, let's get to the second one.
So that's
But I'd like to mention, don't forget I cut the deck as a demonstration before we even did it. So how did the Queen of Hearts end up at the 15th position? Interesting.
what I got for you.
That's pretty good.
But in all seriousness, though, let's give you another legitimate sheet.
See, he shuffled the deck for realsies this time.
Of
That
course
seemed
I
genuine.
But you know how in most tricks, for example, you have everything shuffled, and in most tricks they're like,
Might I say, this is, I think, where NGS will get fooled. This is a good one. Let's continue. Let's find
go ahead
out.
and pick a card, any card you like, right? So in this trick, we're actually not going to do that at all. In this trick, I would have you or me, it doesn't matter who does it, I'd have you start dealing down cards, right? Just like this, dealing down cards. And then at any point, you say stop. Do you want to say stop there? Keep going? It's fine?
Keep going.
Shuffle up. Keep going? Okay, we'll keep going. They stop anytime you like.
Stop.
Right here, and we'll shuffle up. Keep going.
Yep.
Stop.
Stop.
Right there, and shuffle up. And you could be doing this, I could be doing this, it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna demonstrate this really, really awesome trick I learned, and then in private I'll tell you exactly where to get it.
All right.
Because it's a good one. Definitely worth the money for sure. And then I put my own little touch on it as well. But so in all fairness,
It's true.
even though the cards were shuffled beforehand or shuffled during, I could, how magicians are, I could possibly know something about that top card.
Correct.
So I'll get rid of it by sticking it somewhere in the middle. I could also know something about that bottom card. So we'll get rid of it and stick it somewhere in the middle. Now, at this point is when I tell the spectators to go ahead and start dealing until we get about halfway down. So at this point, whenever you feel like it's about halfway, you just go ahead and tell me to stop.
Stop.
Okay, I thought you were counting.
Not quite. No.
How many cards I'm holding?
Maybe 24.
Feels about right, but I'm not going to count that. Okay, so at this point, I could possibly know something about that top card. We're going to get rid of it. And I could possibly know something about that bottom card, so we're going to get rid of it. Right? So here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to look away. Look, I'm hands over, and I'm going to have you take a look at that card. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Everything down, and I'm going to keep my eyes closed and try to cut these cards as best as I can. My eyes closed. And I'll go ahead, look away, give them a little overhand shuffle. Hopefully no cards go flying out. Okay, so at this point, I think it's pretty fair to say I don't know what cards, but I could figure it out. Are you convinced, or
Maybe.
not? Maybe. Okay. So there's a couple ways to go with this routine at this point. I could try to go into the deck and find it, but where's the fun in that, right? Let's not do that. Let's actually take the entire deck and put it away. And at this point, only you know what your card
I know
is.
too, also.
And I guess everybody else is watching, but you know.
All swell, I guess.
So, if I had to guess, okay. Please don't be wrong.
He's gonna be wrong.
I'm gonna say your
Oh,
card
faith.
was. I'm gonna say your card was a black card.
Correct.
Okay.
Halfway there.
Since the E part of the routine, you said number card. I think it was a number.
75% there.
Correct.
Okay.
Probably
So,
a little less
black
since there's
and
more numbered
spade.
cards than
Spades.
court cards.
That'd be way less.
Okay. It's a club.
All right.
Correct.
90% there.
Okay. It's a high card.
Yeah.
95% there.
You are thinking of the nine of clubs.
Yep. Yeah. You got it. That's pretty good.
It's-
Yeah. You got me stumped on that one.
Okay, so I mean the obvious thing to go with on the last trick is going to be it's a marked deck, right? That's the go-to. Is it's a marked deck. He has to know because it's marked. Let me see this. I think I know how he did it. I think I know, but I need to be sure before I say anything. So I think I know how he did it. All right. But I think it has something to do with the bottom deal, and it has to
not
deal
marked.
with a card is being moved, but not being moved. And I'm only saying it like this for him. If you understand what I'm saying, then you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
And I fully believe that this trick is genuinely done from nothing. There is no setup needed for this. You have to see the bottom card for this trick to work. What you're doing is you are showing to the audience, the person, the deck. You are going to sneak a peek at the bottom card. Remember the bottom card.
Not
and
marked.
as you're putting the top
No
card and
peeks
the bottom card
on the
in the
bottom
center,
card.
you are not taking the bottom card to the center.
Doesn't
I
have
can
to be
see
marked,
the trick
doesn't
you're
have
doing
to
there. What
look
you're
at the
doing
bottom.
is you're doing a false steal of the bottom card and putting that into the middle. And
That's
you're actually keeping that bottom card that we both know that you peeked at the bottom. When you are doing the overhand shuffle, when he's telling you to stop between each top deal, you are controlling that bottom card at the bottom, which you know is still the same card. And you're still doing the bottom top to the middle, still controlling that bottom card and keeping it at the bottom with the false deal. And whenever you do the bit at the end where you show him that bottom card, you already know what it is and the trick's already set, and you go forward with the coup de grace. That was a pun to vinyl in the background. The big reveal, and you move up with the steps and do the whole again little nod to mentalism towards the end there. And I think that's how you do it. Now I could be wrong, but I think that's what I'm seeing, at least how this trick is done, and that's how I would do it if I had to do this trick based off of just.
Okay, so a couple of points. What he is saying is very authentic to how this trick can be performed. However, that is not at all what I did in the performance. First of all, he says marked deck, which, okay, that's fair. I do love marked decks. I use them all the time in performance. This trick does not require a marked deck at all. The second point, to peeking the bottom card and false dealing. I know exactly what he's talking about, and that's not that's not at all what happens here. When I'm taking the bottom card, I'm genuinely taking the bottom card. When I'm taking the top card, I'm genuinely taking the top card and losing it in the middle. So that is a great way that this type of effect can be done, but that's not what I did here. So I think I can say I fooled Next Gen Spawn this time around.
One viewing of the performance. Anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think. If I was spot on, if you think I'm wrong and you have your own idea of how the trick is done, leave it down in the comments. I'm sure neither me or B-Don will confirm nor deny how the trick is done, just to keep secrecy, but it'll be fun to see how you think the trick is done. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know. This is actually very fun, and I'm sure it's very fun for B-Don also, who will be doing a tutorial for this trick. It'll be for the first trick, not the second one, the first one. It'll be out on December 2nd on his channel again. Link down below. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you right back in the next video.
So that was very interesting because he was super duper close on that first trick for sure. I mean, he nailed the first half of the routine. You know, it was a type of mentalism that is employed here to forcing that card. The second half, he got so close. I think if he were to actually watch the routine again and see that I made that cut, and I could have shuffled the deck, and there would have been a similar outcome. But I think at the beginning of the routine, when you see me cut the deck, that kind of messes with your head in terms of, well, if he didn't cut the deck, would that card have landed on 15? And then you ask the spectator to cut the deck anywhere they like freely. So in the tutorial that I have coming up, I actually do a whole different demonstration of this trick. Besides what you see here, what you see here will also be included. But yeah, that first one, I want to say he got that 80% correct. 80% correct. And on the second one, yeah, I fooled him on that one, so good job for me, I guess. But this is really fun. I love doing these videos. We're gonna have to do this some more because this is inspiring me to come up with more creative things that I can fool him, because he's a smart guy, man. He keeps figuring these things out, and I got him. So I'm gonna say it's 2-1. You know what I mean? I got him once. He definitely got me twice, and this was a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.